Every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oscar, I don't even know if it affects you,
What's that?
but it was a big deal to me this weekend that at age 86, we lost James Garner.
Oh, I saw that. I was a little... No, not really.
Well,
no, I knew it was
doesn't
news.
affect you. Yeah, well, it's
No.
big news,
Yeah,
big star.
I wanted to be bummed out, but
Yeah.
then I realized I wasn't.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe you can get to the bottom of your feelings because we have on our phones.
Really?
Actually, it's Skype, I think.
I take all that back.
I think it is Skype
I was tormented,
from way above.
upset.
Here he is.
I'm still depressed.
So great to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, James Garner.
What are you talking about with Skype? I'm not Skyping you, Rob. I'm floating above your head. I'm a disembodied spirit, for the love of God. Don't you understand that? I'm not Skyping. You're not on the telephone. What have you been smoking?
There's
You
no
have too many of your
bandwidth.
green bottles over the weekend or what?
No, I'm just glad you're here.
There's no bandwidth in
glad-
heaven.
I'm glad to be here. I'm up in heaven, and thanks for your disinterest, Oscar Santana. How about I tell you I hope the whole country of Bolivia slides into the sea? Would you like that?
I'd feel
Would
the
you
same-
like me to say that to
feel
you?
the same
I will.
way. I feel the same way.
Oh, you do? Well, then we're on the same page.
You
for God's
concur.
sake.
Well, it's so good to see you.
Hold on. Cue the harps. All right, there we go. Yeah,
There it is.
all right. I can do that. That's one of the things I'll let you know about.
Really?
Like, cue the harpists up in heaven. They're going to play for you. What's all this morbidity around? You don't have to be sad. I'm dead. It's the great circle of life. James Garner, large and in charge. And, of course, through the magic of this show and the talent of one Mr. Mike O'Mara, I'll be visiting with you every other day.
Maybe more often than when you were alive.
I think that, well, we're certainly going to get a good 2 weeks out of it, aren't we? Oh, for the love of God, all these people, and all these memories, it's making me sick to my stomach.
You don't think we should grieve?
I don't care for sentimentality. You know I don't like that. There's no need for it. I'm dead. It happens. I was 86. I lived a good full life.
You need to allow us our time to grieve.
Oh, you need your time to grieve. So I guess the fact that I'm driving in the big Grand Prix with the 4 walls on it and the 6 handles doesn't mean a hole of warm spit. I'm sorry, I just think I had a minor stroke myself.
You don't have the gold
Here to
Firebird
say-
up there?
Pardon me?
They didn't give you the gold Firebird to get around
No, I
heaven?
didn't get the gold Firebird. You're talking about all my former TV work, and you probably know, with your obsession about celebrity death, you probably know every other character actor I ever worked with, Rob. I
Sure.
know how that. Thanks for putting me up as your profile, like you're the one that passed away.
No, it was a tribute. I was
Oh,
showing
tribute.
I was
Was it a
showing
tribute?
honor. It
Let's
was.
take a peek. Pull back the curtain for Rob Spiewak and
No.
find out about his total obsession with celebrity death.
Now, you know, last night, I actually got the kids around the TV and we watched Support Your Local Sheriff.
Oh, one of my great movies.
With Harry
I remember
Morgan.
that.
He's up
Harry
there.
Morgan. Talented guy. Drank like a fish.
Yeah, he sure did.
Absolutely. Harry, before 10 a.m. in the morning, he'd have 3 fingers of vodka, and he'd stagger onto the set and not miss a line.
Now, I have a-
Fantastically talented boy.
I have a question. It sort of troubles me that all the video I'm seeing of you during the tributes today, it's older James Garner with no hair on top and for some reason long hair in the back.
Oh, so you're going to start criticizing a dead body? Is that
That's
what you're
not
going to
nice.
do?
Well, no, I'm criticizing
You're
you
going to
towards
criticize
the end.
my hairstyle? What's wrong with you?
I loved you on Heart to Heart.
He was
Let me
never
tell you
on
something.
Heart to Heart.
Rob Spiewak, if you are going to memorialize me by criticizing my hairstyle, I'm going to kick your ass across the state line, and I'm wearing the boots that can do it.
What I wanted to know, and this is something we've never really gotten to the bottom of, when you get to heaven, do
What
you
I want to know is, what have you been eating, son? Good Lord.
Well,
My goodness gracious. Did you set up a tent outside of Krispy Kreme, for God's sake?
I'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.
I want to know, when you get to heaven, do you stay 86 or are you young like you were in The Great Escape?
Now, why am I going to reveal secrets about the great beyond that nobody knows? Why would I eliminate one of the great mysteries of you people down there that are living and tell you all about what happens after death? Do I look like a prophet to you? Do I look like I should be hanging on a cross somewhere? For God's sakes, Rob, you're asking the wrong questions. Why don't you ask me some of those obscure actor questions you were going to ask me, like all of those character actors that nobody remembers
What
at
was
all?
Natalie Wood like?
He was not with Natalie Wood. He was married
That
to the
was
same woman
Robert Robert
60
Wagner.
years.
That was Robert Wagner cementing your Bolivian ability to not know anything about me or my body of work. Now, I would respectfully ask that if you're going to ask a question about James Garner, you at least look at the goddamn filmography.
For
Oscar.
example, when you were in Space Cowboys in the year 2000, you played.
Oh, I said Donald Sutherland.
You played
was a
Tank
good friend.
Sullivan.
Tank Sullivan, that's correct. Tank Sullivan, an astronaut. An aging astronaut with receding hairline.
Yeah.
Yippity-yi-yo-ki-yay. I remember saying to Sutherland, you know, you're not as young as you used to be. Stop chasing the tail.
You did show your butt.
I showed my ass. We all showed our ass.
You did.
And I'll tell you something, Tommy Lee Jones had a nice one.
He really did, didn't he?
Damn fine ass. Glad he's still alive. And, you know, as a matter of fact, I like all my co-actors in that movie. Space Cowboys. Fantastic operation. Fantastic film. A great picture.
Was it different than when you worked on 8 Simple Rules when you replaced John Ritter and you played Jim Egan?
I played Jim Egan for one reason and one reason only. And since I'm floating above you right now, cue the harp, please.
Yes.
Since I'm floating above you right now, perhaps I'll let you know why I took on that role.
I'd like that.
It was for the goddamn paycheck.
You needed the money?
Of course I did. It was for the paycheck. That's what I wanted. I wanted to get my money. I wanted to buy a new car, so I took on a new role. Didn't like to work too much. Smoked like a chimney. Had a bad health history. Doctors didn't expect I'd make it this long, so dry your eyes. There's really no point. And thanks for playing the scene stingers from the Rockford Files.
Before
Yeah, I'll give you a formal one I used to use, but it sounds like we're not going to know the answer to that for the next 2 weeks.
I have
Welcome back
another
to the
role.
Rockford
I have
Files.
another
Yes, go
role.
ahead. Lay them on me, Rob. I know you're possessed by the devil. Go ahead.
I have another role I wanted to ask you about, but I know you're not going to give me a direct answer, but tell me at least I'm close. I picture you in your Maverick outfit, but your fingernails continue to grow. Is that close?
Well, that's simple biology, son.
Yes.
You can pry open the casket and notice that the hairline and also my hair's growing and my nails are growing. It happens after the body ceased to exist.
Okay.
You know that. That's not anything. You could find that in a simple college textbook, you moron.
When you...
I tell you, here I am coming by saying people shouldn't be all sad and teary-eyed, and you're starting to be so irreverent that I want them to go back in the other direction.
Do you remember in Victor Victoria when you played King Marchand?
King Marchand. Yeah, this is not a retrospective on the life of James Garner. What this is silly movie names.
That's right.
Silly movie names for characters.
Yes.
For the love of God, I tell you, I don't know why I came on your show first.
Who would win in a fight? King Marchand from Victor Victoria or F. Ross Johnson from Barbarians at the Gate?
Well, there's no question be F. Ross Johnson.
Yeah, you
He was
think?
the head of a major corporation, flying in his private jets, hawking the cigarettes, having a fantastic thing with poor Philip Morris, for God's sake.
You know who was tough?
Who?
Pete Aaron from Grand Prix.
Oscar, I'm going to ask you a favor.
Yes.
Take those papers from in front of Rob Spiewak. He listed every role that I've ever had, for God's sake. And you haven't once had the dignity to mention that wonderful romance, Murphy's Romance, the movie I did with Sally Field. One of
yes.
the great racks of Hollywood history.
1985.
Absolutely unquestionable. Yes.
You played Murphy Jones.
Murphy Jones. And that wonderful scene at the end.
Yes.
I'm 65.
I
and
was
in love.
always
For
impressed
the
by...
well, that's all right. Then why don't you both walk on the lines that I'm saying
sorry.
right now? I'm 65 and in love for the last time in my life. Remember that? Wasn't that sweet?
Very
Go
sweet.
ahead,
Can
Oscar,
I
for
talk
Christ's
now?
sake.
I
Yes.
was always impressed how you transitioned your career from film to television and television to film, back and forth, and you did it seamlessly. And in those days, it was either you're a film star or television star.
Well, if you're so knowledgeable about my transition from film to TV, why don't you mention one movie that I was in, Oscar Santana?
I loved you in Matlock.
He was not in Matlock.
On that note, you know what? I think he ought to be put in prison, that boy. I'm going to kick both your asses across the state line right now.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now, let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again.
I believe you got one of my children in the jail here.
I dare you walk into my office, pull a gun on me.
Get your finger out of the end of my gun.
Well, until I do, you better take your finger off that trigger and let the hammer down real slow.
That gun had gone off and it blown right up in the face.
God, it wouldn't have done my finger a hell of a lot of good either, would it?
What can I do for you, Mr. Danby?
My son Joe.
Well, it seems Joe murdered a man this afternoon.
The way I hit it, he killed a man in a fair gunfight.
Standing right there.
Well, now that was real smart of him, wasn't it?
Well, I've been around Joe all afternoon, and I haven't seen him do one smart thing yet.
Can I see him?
Well, why didn't you take that approach when you first came in? He's right in there.
This is Jim Rockford. At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
Jim, it's Norma at the market. It bounced. You want us to tear it up, send it back, or put it with the others?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
Yeah, the great tradition of the Mike O'Mara Show. They can die, but we still do them on this show. That's the way it goes. And you know what? I was sad about that.
Me
and
too.
I think that's a nice little tribute to James Garner. He will be missed. We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios, heard worldwide. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services. With over 24 million downloads, we're heard daily at MikeO'MaraShow.com and exclusively over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks!
Congratulations to KCJJ on their table-to-table fundraiser. They exceeded their goal. And also hello to, if this is not a disc jockey, should be, Sandy Steele of Iowa City.
Hey, Sandy. Thank you very much for listening. The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily podcast and radio show with the greatest listeners on the planet. Why?
Why, Mike? Why?
Because they get it. Our show today brought to you by our good friends at Sleep Number Beds. For those of you keeping score, write it down. I'm an 80. Carl is an 85. Not age, of course. Yet.
Certainly not.
My Sleep Number bed is the best. I wanted the world to know it. And Sleep Number has introduced a smart bed. It's called Sleep IQ technology. Sensors work with dual air technology inside the bed to track and optimize how you're sleeping. The Sleep IQ allows you to make changes like adjusting your sleep number setting or adjusting your daily routine for your best possible sleep. And it couldn't be easier to use. Nothing to wear, nothing to turn on. All you have to do is sleep. Again, my Sleep Number is an 80. Carla's is an 85. And there's only one place in the world to find the Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology, and that's a Sleep Number store. Come in right now. We're a C2 Queen mattress with Sleep IQ technology. Starts at just $999.98. No better sleep. Find your Sleep Number setting today at any of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again is 800-511-0061. And don't forget to tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you. And we thank you for that. Welcome to the big show. Yeah, I was a little bit sad. I felt really, really sad. Maybe because I really, really love the movie Murphy's Romance. I think it's one of the best movies about May-December romance, which I involved myself in as well, and so I kind of identify with that. And it's, it was perfect, pure James Garner, and I think otherwise, doing the impression for as many years as I've done the impression, and not many people do, believe it or not, do James Garner. And, I was just excited about doing it every time we had a chance to do it on the show. So I felt sad that he is no longer with us.
Always been one of my favorites, and I'd like to address something briefly. I've been accused of being the Grim Reaper of the Internet.
Yes.
And that for some
Well,
reason...
you do obsess on death. You obsess on death.
I like to pay tribute when people pass. And I also... I like to be the first on Facebook or among my circle of friends to know when people die, because I think it's exciting, breaking news. But... this happened again. Did you know that even though James Garner's death was not announced until Sunday, we actually mentioned him for no real good reason on Friday's show? Let me go to the tape. This is from...
Wow, I don't even remember doing that.
This is from July 18th, Friday's podcast.
Is that the kind of wallet you normally put in like in a jacket?
Yeah, you could do that.
Like a
but also-
sport coat? When's the last time you wore a sport coat to work?
Today, but I took it off before you got on the air with me.
Yeah, right. I'm sure you wore a sport coat.
It was a smart, dashing look. I looked like Jim Rockford. Weird.
So it's your fault again.
Yeah, this one's on me. I took blame first thing Sunday
Why?
morning.
You do this a lot. You mention old celebrities and they die.
Well, the fact is that my frame of reference is only people from the 1950s, so they're all going to die.
That's his target
But you know what?
demographic.
That was a particularly peculiar coincidence, I think.
But in James
Scary.
Garner's case, of course, it was the 50s is when he came on the scene. But of course, he was 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
6
up
decades.
until
And
6
also,
decades.
did you know 2-time Purple Heart winner for
in
the Korean War?
Yeah, that's in my news. Calm down. Jesus Christ. I want to have some content, too, about James Garner, you know? I mean, my God, he goes nuts about death,
he gets
celebrity
excited
death.
when he kills.
No,
He
it's
does.
Not,
He's
no,
like
no,
Dexter.
It's not Dexter.
Jesus,
My
Rob,
apologies.
My
My apologies.
God. It's like he was your father or something.
No,
you know,
no,
when
it's
you
not
put
that.
it up
but
there.
My celebrity death is my Red Sox.
Okay.
Let me have something to
Okay.
root for.
All right, you know what? You explained it. I'm
His
fine with
season
that.
is all year long.
That's right. Mike, even though birthdays have a limited season, baseball has a limited season, people die all the time. That's where the money is.
Oh, God bless my work partners. Yeah, right out of the chute. That is a pretty damn good one. I like that. Well, welcome to the show. An interesting weekend up here. It was my son's first birthday. I sent you guys the video.
We saw the video.
So when I talked about the smash cake, you would be able to understand how joyous it was. I don't know where to begin because there was a little bit of activity on Saturday before we had the smash cake. You know that I was excited. We had made a determination that we were going to do a cookout here at the place we're staying at, and then we went to the grocery store on Friday and made the audible in the grocery store that we switched back to making chili.
Oh, did you really?
No.
Okay.
Because here's the reason why. We did not know how many people were going to drop by for just a quick cocktail, a little salute to my 1-year-old,
Right.
and how many people were actually going to linger longer
Sure.
and hang out for the actual food. So I said, with chili, you can actually have a big pot of it, and if people want to eat, they can eat, and if they don't, they don't. So that's the reason we switched to that, and then the plan was for me to get up at the crack of dawn and cook the stuff
On Saturday.
on Saturday morning, and then by 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon, the guests would arrive. We would have people coming by, and we would have a wonderful little evening and probably do the whole cake festivities prior to eating dinner with the grown-ups, and he'd be down for nighttime, and it would be fine, and we'd be able to linger and hang out and have a good time. But unfortunately, in the dream house,
Gull Cottage.
things do not, in Gull Cottage, things do not always go as planned.
Mike,
Oh,
let me
no.
ask a question before you get into it. Do things ever
Yes.
go as planned at Gull
Let me
Cottage?
say this. Let me start by telling you that my bride, we have at home, we sleep in that wonderful king-size sleep number bed.
Of
and
course.
when I do the commercials, I'm telling you legitimately, one of the reasons I was very excited to get that particular client on the air is because I mean it. When I tell you that, it is absolutely true that I use that bed. I was going to say I use that bed like a toilet. No, I don't.
No. If you did, that would be disrespectful to your wife and the bed.
Maybe 20 years from now.
Yeah. Mike, that's
10.
we're gonna
Daddy,
need
come
this,
to my little league game. No, your father's pooping in the bed again.
we
so
need the special
that's it.
sheets.
Yeah. Get the pan.
The pan. Dad's pan.
So we sleep in a king, and I'm not a man of small carriage, so that we, when we came up here and we had two fulls, and there was like a full-size bed or even a smaller bed. There's small beds in every room. So Carl and I had to do the Franklin and Eleanor thing where we had to find separate rooms.
Ricky and Lucy.
Ricky and Lucy will be in the same room.
Oh, so you're
But
actually in different rooms?
We were.
That's the Santanas of
We
current.
were, and they were slightly smaller high. What's going on out there? Is anything going on? Is anybody here?
Did she find what you
No
left in
one's
the
here
bed?
yet. Okay, no, hold on. So I gotta tell. Carla, what are you doing?
She's interrupting
Carla's
the
like
show.
looking at me
is what
through a
she's
window.
doing.
She is interrupting.
Are you sure it's
Yes,
Carla and
Oscar,
not a
she is
ghost?
interrupting the show. So
we're paying the mortgage here, lady.
This is my job.
Yeah. Keep calling her
Thank
lady.
God we were not interrupted during the Garner segment.
Yes.
Which, to be perfectly honest, I thought would have gone a little bit better. Anyway, moving right along. So here
I
it
thought
is.
it was perfect.
Yeah, I know you did. Okay, so anyway, here it is. Saturday morning, make the chili. Everything's fine. And
was it a beef chili or a turkey chili?
Turkey chili. That's
Yum.
all. That's all I make now. It's turkey. My feeling is, with all the spices
Right.
and all the seasonings and onions and all that, you can have a lower fat product by putting turkey in there, and it doesn't make a difference. It's all about texture.
It is texture.
As a matter of fact, when I watch one of those cooking shows on TV and they're putting lamb and beef and all, it doesn't matter because all the meat that's in there eventually is going to taste like chili.
Right.
That's all it is. So that's it. We could do another show on that, Rob, when we do our annual chili cook-off.
Well, Mike, I'll bring my cumin blog.
So we're in this house and we're getting ready and we go out for the day. I think we had a fun day. We ran around a little bit. No, we were going to go out for the day. Now let me get it right because I'm reflecting on it now. Carla, we're going to go down at noontime here in this little seaside community.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a hot dog roast down at the dock to support
those red ones?
What? Yeah,
Those
those little
red ones?
red snappers.
Yes, exactly.
And they're having that down at the dock to support the community down here, because they take care of all these different little community things like the dock and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're planning on doing that. Carla jumps in the shower at probably about 10:15. I've gotten the chili all wrapped up, and I'm surfing the net, and I'm sitting at the dining room table. About half an hour, maybe about 20 minutes after Carla gets done taking her shower, I glance to the left, and the little light fixture above the shower has this little stream of water coming out of it.
Now, are you sure you're not watching a Three Stooges short? Because that's
No.
exactly how a Plumbing We Will Go starts.
No, and so there's a stream. It started like a drip, and then it becomes a stream. I immediately go into full-fledged panic mode.
no.
Sure.
And
I
there are
go
no
into
smoke detectors.
panic mode.
In case a fire
There
breaks
are
out.
many. That particular one they do not have.
Hold on, I
now.
have a
It's
question.
been disabled.
Will you entertain a question, Oscar?
Yes, go.
When a house floods, is that really when you want to worry about a fire?
No.
When everything is soaking wet?
When water gets into electrical, a fire can break out.
But the
I don't
water's
think so.
already there.
No,
You
anything
can get
happens.
electrocuted. I don't necessarily think a fire can.
Well,
break
and
out.
that old at home, you don't know where the wiring is. You don't know how insulated it is. Anything's possible.
That's true.
Well,
We'll let him slide, but he's wrong.
I look, regardless of fire,
right.
I panic. I panic and I run upstairs. First thing I want to know is Carla taking a shower, and she's not. She had gotten out of the shower. Second thing, I look around the exterior to see, if maybe you had like a curtain that was hanging over the side, causing water to get on the
Right.
floor. Dry as a bone. Nothing wrong. Nothing going on. So I immediately think the worst. I think, oh my God, it's a pipe of some kind. It's a water pipe. But I am in a tither. I mean, this is my son's first birthday. It's not going well.
And also, you don't know the house, so even if you were to go and try and turn off the water to the house to stop the
Well,
leak,
I did.
Did you find it?
I decide that I said, where is the basement? And I have to make my way down into the basement.
Oh, no.
And let me tell you, and there is not a working flashlight so that I can really see my way down there. And it's old, and there are wires, and there are pipes. And I make my way to what I believed was the water main, and it turned out it was. And I successfully shut off the water main. I will not bore you.
I will say
with
this.
the series of phone calls that ensued after this, but let's just say they were multifold.
When I got to look around
Christ.
Gull Cottage, and I can only imagine what an unfinished basement looks like there. If
Yes.
they consider the rest of the house finished.
It was something that. Well, they're all up here. They're all like that up here. That's the way
not
because they were
Kathy's
built.
house.
They were built. No, you're right about
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
She's got a dryer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she
I
does.
said I was going to tell this story without really,
Understood.
You understand?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I don't want to go there. But as
Yeah.
far as Kathy's house, let me give you Oscar that one. All right, here we
Yeah.
go. Absolutely.
It's Architectural Digest over there.
Bolivian for 20. Let's go down the street where everything is clean and everything is new.
Sure.
But anyway, in an old setting. Perfection.
Yeah, it is.
That's what it is. It's perfection, isn't it?
Mike,
it's effing perfection.
It's called the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
It is.
Yes, and at that point, I said, okay, well, let me do that. I got the water main shut off, and I went up to console my bride. At that point, there were phone calls. My sister, I informed her what was going on, that we may have an issue with having people over because there's a water leak. We were getting
How did
pots
she
and
handle
pans.
that?
Who?
Your sister. Did she think it was somehow your fault?
No,
Good.
no, stop that.
Good.
No,
Good.
she's a hero today.
Oh!
She is a hero today. So she saved the day. She did save. But they come up, we're all close by up here, so she walks up the street with my nephew, and they come in, and it was just, it was frustrating. It was very frustrating. Sure. And I'm sitting there with my nephew, and then because I'm being tough guy, I was kind of flipped with Carla about it, and I failed to realize that this is her son's first birthday, and it's a pretty special day that has turned to crap with with plumbers and landlords and making phone calls and trying to get people to respond, which was not going well. It was very, very frustrating, and there were tears. And when I went up to see her, I went in her original bedroom where she was staying, and there were little winged ants that were on the floor.
Oh,
and, And it was suffice to say, it's Monday here, and we're waiting for the plumber and the exterminator, and I haven't gotten a phone call. And we're basically on one side of the house now, and that's where we're going to stay.
Boy.
So it was fantastic, quite exciting as a matter of fact. But I will tell you the heroic story of how my sister saved the day and how everything is great. She's a terrific sister. We've been bonding up here, Rob, and I don't want you to spoil that.
I shan't. I will
take
not.
a break. Come back with more on the Mike O'Mara Show, you bastard. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of our program is brought to you by Stamps.com. Technology. I love it.
It's the best, isn't it? Don't
We
you
all
love it?
do.
Yeah, we all do. Oscar, how
I
about
love
you?
technology.
Yeah, of course.
You know why we love it? Because technology makes a lot of things easier. That's exactly right. Things like using the post office without ever going to the post office. With Stamps.com, you can do everything you do at the post office right from the comfort of your computer. It is the way of the modern world, people. Best of all, it's super easy. You don't need to be a tech expert. Stamps.com lets you buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package. They even send you a digital scale that automatically calculates the exact postage and preventing you from having to visit that place that you don't like to go to.
It's a bad place.
It's a bad place. You hand it to your mailman and you're done. Plus, Stamps.com makes it easy to print postage from popular business software like QuickBooks, Outlook, and more. We use Stamps.com, and it saves time, money, and our sanity. Act now for a 30-day free no-risk trial and $110 bonus offer, including a free digital scale and up to $55 in free postage. Just go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone and use our secret code TMOS. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in TMOS. Stamps.com and TMOS. A perfect combination, everybody.
They're the best, Mike. It really is.
Okay, so I get getting back to Saturday, which was rapidly turning into a disaster. Anytime you're away, you don't want to have something like this happen. At this point, after I turn off the water main, the water continues to drip, but it appears to be slowing. But at this point in time, I do not know if this is a water pipe or perhaps a drainage issue. We are leaning towards a drainage issue.
Because it started after she took a shower.
It started after, but there was nothing around the exterior of the shower. All the water was on the interior of the shower, so this we don't know. But we're speculating, and I've already braved going down into their dungeon, like I had a dungeon when I was in Manassas, and negotiating the wires and pipes, just fearing that I might get electrocuted if I touch something, and I seem to have turned off the water main.
It's not common for a house so close to water to have a dungeon, is it? I mean, there's not a lot of dugout basements up there,
Well,
are
this
there?
is old. I mean, they did it back in the day. This one has one. It's
Wow.
got a little sub-basement down there. That's what they've got. So I get that done, and then Kathy comes up. So Mike's sitting there, and I'm kind of like, Carla says, "Oh, this is terrible," or something. I say, "Well, I know it's terrible. I've been dealing with it too." And that was the wrong time for me to be Johnny A-hole. Well, I've got the microphone here. I can do it.
Johnny A-hole, Johnny A-hole, Mike is the husband who's an A-hole.
And that, I realize, Carla, who has been sucking it up in the first bedroom that she was in with the winged creatures and everything else, and she has moved down the hallway now, and I realized that this was the point of no return, and I realized that I was flipped with her, and she goes upstairs, and I felt horrible for her.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like you hit her. You just shoved her.
Thank you, Oscar. Yeah, that's right. That's going to help my cause.
Spoken
that's
like a truly
look at him,
single
look
man.
at him down there. Okay. All right.
And you warned me, Mike, not to make it worse?
Love tap.
What?
Love tap.
Such an ass.
He really is.
He's on Monday. He comes in ready to pick, and he's good at it.
It's not just
he
Monday.
Comes in ready to pick it.
It's not my fault. This house is falling apart.
Well,
and then
you know,
just
but-
like kind of pushed her upstairs.
You know when things are not going well, and somebody just says that one extra thing or has an attitude, and I realize that, but I was dealing with it too. Here's the question: the age-old dilemma between men and women. You don't think about the other person because you're too busy being upset with
Right.
people.
Of course.
Can't be
so
selfish.
How
It
quick
was
did you
frustrating.
realize that you blew it? Was it as soon as the words left your mouth?
Yeah, but not to the degree, and I realized that the whole issue was my son's first birthday.
Yeah, you're both on the same team.
Carla wanted to take a picture at the moment he was born, the time, to have that special.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of stuff. We were looking forward to having people over. Everything was fine. So they leave, my sister and my nephew leave, and then Carla and I go back and forth about this. And then when they came back up, Kathy and her family, I haven't spent a lot of time around them. And I'm going to say something serious here.
Okay.
Because I have not been, geographically, we're in different locations. Having her as a neighbor and having her around, I mean, she's been amazing. She's been amazing, and she was amazing on Saturday, and they come back in. This time she comes up with Paul, my brother-in-law, and they walk in, and we're just losing it because we're trying to get this together, and we're not getting responses, and I don't know if I'm going to be sitting here all day kind of waiting for this, and you kind of have that feeling when you're not the owner that you're sitting in a house, and do you deal with this? Kathy says, just get out. We're going to do it at my house. Everything's fine. Just bring it down. We'll bring everything down there. We're going to take your stuff. They take our stuff down. They get everything ready, and they moved it all down the street. And it was just, it was one of those times where we needed somebody to come to the rescue.
So
If
that
we'd been
is
up here not
dynamite.
knowing anybody, it would have been terrible. It was not a terrible situation. And
She fixed it. She absolutely
she
fixed
did.
it for you. And
she was the great
that's
fixer. and
fantastic.
look, I've given my sister, because she's my older sister, and younger brothers give older sisters crap. I've given her a lot of crap. I'm going to give her props right now and tell her that I love her and that she is a wonderful sister and that she has been terrific, and her family was terrific. And
That's so cool.
and our whole day was predicated on going out on the water here, and her family had planned all that, and that got blown to crap. And so it was just it was one of all this because it was a 1-year-old's birthday. That's why this was more of a big deal than it should have been. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the at the fixture, at the ceiling fan, and seeing what's the deal. And Kathy says, just get out of the house. Leave the door open. It's up. It's Maine. Leave the door open. Somebody shows up. We go out. So we go out and we decide we're gonna grab a bowl of chowder somewhere on the road and just take an hour and a half and just leave this for a while.
Cool.
And I've got the water main set, and the thing has stopped dripping. So we leave just to see if everything's going to be okay.
You, Carla, and the birthday boy?
Yeah, the
Okay.
three of us head out, and we head out to a place that's right around the corner, and that's where we ran into the thing that the day started to go north when we bumped into Philip and Martha.
Philip and Martha.
Philip and Martha are the parents or the in-laws of the guy that owns the restaurant, and we're sitting there in this rustic little Maine place right on the other side of a bridge, and right on the water, and it's this tiny little, like they all are up there.
Of course.
Just a tiny little place. You have to look at it twice to realize that you're going into a restaurant. And this guy walks in, this old codger walks in, and it looks like he walked out of a clam flat. He's got the mud boots on. He's got this weird hat with with a little flap on the back of it. And Philip walked in.
Can you
and
estimate his age?
he is not. He's definitely seen 80.
No
Oh,
kidding.
wow.
And still
But
getting around.
He is doing this, and he starts to chat, and we start to chat, and suddenly they discuss the fact that they come up here in the winter to help with their son-in-law or their son's restaurant. I forgot whether it was son or son-in-law. They come up to work with the restaurant. This is the second time now I've met someone in their 80s that has made my weekend.
That's
And
cool.
I love old people, and that's why. And I will tell you this: the guy walks in with his whole outfit, and he starts chatting, and it turns out they come up from the south, and guess where they live in the wintertime?
Florida.
Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, my God, really?
And the lady that had been waiting on us, the little old lady, she's his wife. And both there, remember, I'm just telling this secondhand, so I hope I'm getting the story right. I think both of their other spouses passed, and they found each other, and they married each other. This guy is a retired officer in the Air Force, and he is a retired school principal. And not only does he help out around the restaurant, do you know what he is doing now? What he does? He's been doing it for 4 years.
What?
He is a stern man on a lobster boat.
Wow.
That is, anybody that knows lobstering, you watch Deadliest Catch, watch some of the fishing shows. He works on a lobster boat, and he's going to be 83 in October.
Wow.
Can you imagine being in a school and you're a student and your principal's an ex-Marine? That guy's
he's ex-Air Force. I think he's
Ex-Air Force.
ex-Air
Well,
Force,
that's a pretty strict school.
But he was articulate. He was funny, and suddenly, we're sitting there and going, our little issues don't mean a pile of warm spit. There's no problem at all, and it was fun to listen to.
Are they
really
Maine
was.
people? George? Or
No.
Is it not George and Martha?
No.
What is it?
It's Philip and Martha.
Philip and Martha. So they didn't
I
have
think
an
it's
accent?
I hope I got it. As I said, this happened Saturday.
Sure.
A lot of stuff happened in between, but it was
Captain
Philip and Martha.
Philip and Martha.
Captain Philip. Yes.
And first Maine
sounds
Martha.
like sounds like a Maine morning show. Good morning. How are you? Welcome to the Captain Philip and Martha show. We're glad to be with you. But we're sitting there enjoying a little bowl of soup, and the whole time we're talking, they're going back and forth. They even have little postcards that they sell with Philip and with Martha, and they compete to see who sells the most. And it's Philip in the back of this lobster boat holding up an 8-pound lobster, and it's Martha with her famous blueberry pie. And that's what they have. But they didn't have a trace of the Maine accent. These are people, as they call it, as they say up here, these are people from away.
Now,
People from away.
I'm sure you
I am a
got into
person from
detail.
away. I will always be a person from away. My cousins are not. My cousins were born in the state of Maine. I am people from away. That's the way it always is up here.
I'm sure you got
I
down
found
to
that out
it.
by listening to a sermon in church on Sunday.
How close do they live to you in Fort Myers?
Relatively close. I think it's relative. I'm not sure. We didn't get into details.
Do you think you'll
I'm not going to
visit?
swim with them or anything.
I think
like
you
that.
should swim with them.
Okay, why don't you just calm
Did you
down
get the
right now?
chowder from them?
Yes, we got the chowder. We got the
Chowder.
chowder. I hate that when they do that. I hate that when you see that on a sign.
Oh.
It says like CHOWDAH. That's when I want to throw a rock through it.
Yeah, tell you what. You know what? That's not as bad as the other one. Lobster.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, come in for some lobster. Yeah, okay. People speak with a heavy accent.
What they
you
should
know, what
put
if
a
you
sign.
did that everywhere? What if you did that in France?
You should put a sign
know?
above it that says, "Hey, motorist, we assume you're a moron, so please come in for some lobster."
Hello, idiots. Listen, there's a great lobster restaurant down the street, but if you're a real hammerhead, all mallet heads, go to the place before it that serves lobster. Duh.
It's wicked good.
See, the thing is, I have been known to be asked occasionally to back off on the Maine accent.
Yes.
Because everybody in my family does it a little bit. And if you do it at the wrong time, you're really advertising what a complete and total mook you are.
No.
You know?
What's the
well,
wrong
like
time?
you wouldn't walk up to an average restaurant here, get like a bowl of chowder, and at the top of your lungs go, Jesus Christ, this is good. That would not be.
But don't you
kosher
get plus
up here.
points because you're good at it?
Yeah.
Well, I could almost what Carla says I do. Yesterday, a working boat came in, and this was a real working boat, and I helped him tie up at the dock. And Carla says that I kind of did it automatically.
I've heard you do it. I heard
Yeah.
you do it when we were going to get Orlocks, and
Right.
you actually got on the phone
Yep.
and you said,
Yep.
"Hi, it's Mike. I'm up in Hancock Point." And it's like you went into a character voice, but a subtle one.
And then when you were yelling about your mooring to the guy that you're ordering it
Trundy.
from, you were like,
right.
and then you had I was like, who is this man in front of me on the phone?
I do it. I morph into it, and I would do if you put me over in like in Rome, Italy for a month, I'd probably start getting a little American.
But
accent.
I was really hoping that one time you would call like up to the lobster place, but call as Charlie.
Now you're making me think. I'm thinking about Charlie with a Maine accent.
Oh, I bet he goes to the place that says lobster.
It's a good tease. Charlie with a Maine accent when we come back. I got to think about it. We'll take a break. Be right back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
I'm Oscar Santana.
And I'm Todd Moore, and we're trying to bridge the gap between entertainment and
technology.
And we're doing it right now.
Yes, and we're much better than Rob Spiewak.
F you, Rob.
Listen to Tech 4-in-1. It's available on MikeO'MaraShow.com or find us on iTunes. Just search
for Tech 4-in-1 Show.
More Broadcasting. For more information, visit us at morebroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. That was Oscar Santana, don't you?
That's probably your best promo currently rotating.
A loyal friend, a loyal guy. Guy does things every day that I would never do. That thing we were talking about before, I would never do that. I would work for the opposite.
If you're out there and you have a second, please send well wishes to Mr. Todd Moore. He's not feeling well.
Oh, what's the matter?
I think he's got a little flu.
Oh, and also if you're listening, send new promos for Tech 411.
Yes.
So best wishes to Todd Moore. It's just the flu?
Yeah, light a candle if you don't
All right. Get well soon, you big baby.
Hey, both ends?
Both ends.
Okay. New Amazon commercial alert.
Oh, good.
New Amazon commercial alert. Okay, I texted Rob last night that I read the first line, and I didn't read any further. So now I hope I don't mess it up because I am reading this for the very first time. This segment of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you. Hold on, I have to gather myself.
Yeah, take a breath.
This segment of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Boy, damn it, I didn't want to do this. Here we go. Boy, it's hot as fresh milk outside.
Yuck.
But you can stay refreshingly cool inside, surfing the old Amazon page through the TMOS portal. Yes, Amazon has it all. And while you're surfing, pick up a new surfboard. Pick up a new surfboard, some Billabong surf shorts, some Surf's Up wall decals, some Pickle brand surfboard wax remover.
All real.
The biography of Bennett Cerf, even a book about the serfs who lived in feudal societies. Amazon has it all, including hundreds of knobs for cabinets, drawers, appliances, doors, or anything that needs pulling. Wood, metal, glass, plastic, you name it, and Amazon has your knob. Oscar hates this.
He does not like it.
Oscar wants us to specifically mention products that
Kindle
can
Fire.
benefit people.
They have the Kindle Fire.
And here are Rob
When we
and
have
I,
our monthly reports, I'll point to this.
Okay. Let me start it again.
Guess what I'll point to.
Maybe if I read it more professionally.
I think that's probably the problem.
Amazon has it all, including hundreds of knobs.
I was shocked at the amount of knobs.
Amazon has it all, including hundreds of knobs for cabinets, drawers, appliances, doors, or anything that needs pulling. Wood, metal, glass, plastic, you name it, and Amazon has your knob. And better prices than those knob superstores. Better prices than those knob superstores.
That's right.
Whether you need a travel pillow, a ham, whole or in a can, sexy furry leg warmers, a Danielson brand clam.
Here we go.
A Danielson brand clam net, new vinyl spats, or a kaleidoscope. Amazon has it. Amazon has everything for your home and your office, whether it's cleaning supplies, coffee funnels, a French horn, or toilet paper for your butt. Oh, I asked him. This is my fault. This is my fault. I take responsibility for
Kindle
this.
Fire, great.
If you need it, Amazon has it. Always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. The best way to save money and support this show. Remember to bookmark Amazon at MikeO'MaraShow.com and click that link all day long. I have to be serious. This is Amazon. It helps the show. Please do it. Thank
Please.
you.
Vinyl spats.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, thank
Have you ever just
Um,
gone on Amazon and looked for the stuff they have? They
No.
have
No, you have, but I
everything.
haven't. No. I mean,
Wonderful.
I go to Amazon when I have a specific need,
Yes.
and I find them amazing. I actually, what was I looking at? I was looking at wood
Knobs?
stoves. I was looking at wood stoves. I was
Did
actually
it
just
have its
curious.
own knobs, or did you need to buy knobs for it?
No, the wood stove Rob had its knobs.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
good. That's a good deal then.
God.
But you can
All
get
right.
paper towels, you can get toilet paper, things that, for example, I live in a condo, right? And it's on the 3rd floor.
You don't wanna
A
love
beautiful
that stuff.
condo.
Hey, thank you, I appreciate that. But it's on the 3rd floor, and we don't have an elevator in the building. The last thing you want to deal with is getting these big, bulky supplies.
Yes.
And having to take them from the parking lot up 3 stories. Amazon would deliver them right to your doorstep.
Well, the
Wonderful.
one that is bottled water. Why are we covering our ass? We mention Amazon all the time.
No,
We're
I'm
fine.
giving you
fine.
an example.
I know, real example.
Todd Moore, for example, ordered a bunch of paper towels from Amazon. So much that he forgot that he ordered 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
and he said, grab some paper towels on your way out.
Oh, like
I
a
ordered too
party
many.
favor? Hey, you know what?
An overabundance.
If Todd is listening, you know what else Amazon sells? It's Theraflu. So you can get that and you can feel better by tomorrow. That's
Get
right.
all your medicine. You know, and I would think that really if you didn't want to go to the drugstore because you might have an embarrassing condition, Amazon would
ointments.
probably sell a bunch of salves that would help you. All right,
Tinctures?
so getting back to where we were, I wanted to talk about, I've mentioned the dream house. I have mentioned the sister to the rescue, and Philip and Martha, who
So
were
as we
absolutely
stand,
terrific.
though, as we stand, you're still waiting on an exterminator for the winged beasts,
right now.
and you're waiting on a plumber.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what my course of action will be. We got back from our little lunchy lunch, and the first thing I decided to do was go back down and turn on the water main. There was not any water coming out, and I wanted to see if, in fact, that was going to be a confirmation of whether it was a drainage thing or whether it was water coming through. Turned it back on, nothing. We're good to go. We can use another shower
that's
down
good.
here.
Good.
So as it stands right now, moved Carla in. Carla and I are in a full-size bed sleeping together, which is a real slice of heaven for her. Really,
Oscar,
when I
are you even
shift,
familiar with a full size?
Yeah, that's what I have right now.
Okay, it's about 8. If I'm not wrong, it's like about
it might be. I think it's a full is not. What's the kind that where you have Ricky and Lucy beds next to
Twins.
each other?
That's
not
a twin.
That's
That's
a
a
twin.
twin.
A full's a little bigger,
A
right?
full
Yes.
is, I think, 8 inches wider than a twin.
Okay,
something
that's
like
what
that.
When you have queen and king.
Yeah.
And I rotate at night and roll over on the side, and she bounces up like she's on a trampoline. It's like that's the way it goes. But that's where we are right now, and we have moved there, and we are existing, and we're on the side of the house that does not have the winged creatures. So my theory now is, I'm done.
In what way?
I put calls in. I did everything I could do. I hadn't gotten a call from anybody. Here it is Monday. We're approaching 12 noon, and I'm like, F it. I'm not saying I'm not doing anything anymore. So we're comfortable. We're going to live here. That's the way we're going to do it. But I am not going to go through hoops again trying to get people to come out here because you know what? It's not my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I busted my ass doing that the other morning. And why should I introduce more stress when obviously, well, I don't want to go there. I'm not going there. I've said my piece. I've said my piece. That's it.
What's
I'm good to
important,
go.
Mike, I know that you're working on a daily basis, but you are technically, you're on holiday up there, and it's not
But
your
I'm
job.
not. I'm not. See, now that's the thing. And really, I'm just in a. This would be if I was working anywhere. I'm dug in now, and my day is just like my day would be anywhere. Getting ready for the show between 6:45 and 7 a.m. and then preparing the show and then delivering the show. The difference is I'm in a spot that is really beautiful, and it's great to be up here, and I'm very blessed to be able to do that. But you have limits when you are a tenant.
Yeah.
Would you not agree,
True,
Oscar?
true.
I mean, you have limits when you're a tenant.
You can only do so much, though, because Maine is lame.
No, now stop that. Stop that.
What
Behave
if you
yourself.
left a week early and got some money back on your investment?
Well, I don't think you'd be able to get anything back.
You know what?
I
don't
think
care.
so.
I don't care. Right
Really?
now there is peace among the planets, and the peace among the planets was a really a singular result of my sister's family, the Parsley family.
That's awesome.
Who just stepped up, and it was familia. It was too familia, and it was so cool. We ended up having the greatest night for my little guy. I just sent Oscar and Rob the video of we had gone on Friday to get a birthday cake so that we can have that, but he's a 1-year-old, so he doesn't know from birthday cake. And the lady behind the counter, I'm actually going to go back to the grocery store to hopefully find her and thank her, because I'd never heard this concept. I'm sure hundreds of people have, but this lady looks at us and say, well, he's going to be 1. Are you going to get him a smash cake? And I said, a smash cake. And I didn't know, I think I figured it out pretty quickly.
It's a cake that looks like the disc jockey from DC 101, right?
Hey, man.
Adam Smasher.
Hey, Adam Smasher. How you doing? It's a smash cake. No, a little guy or a little girl, they get their own individual cake. In his case, we just got a big cupcake, one of those giant cupcakes. And what you do is he gets to have that before everybody even has dinner.
Perfect.
And I put pictures up online of it, and it was so hysterically funny. My cousin Teddy was there with his family. My sister was there with my nephew, and it was really.
You got
it was,
exactly.
You laugh so hard. The best part is we bring out the little cupcake and we do the happy birthday to you. And over in the woods through the trees, I guess there's some students that are staying over there, and you hear. Yeah, and like through the pines, you hear this. Happy birthday to you, yay! And they were all cheering for him. It was
wow.
It was that kind of night, and it was so
good feeling.
I tell you, they're really. I whenever I'm going to be around babies celebrating a 1-year birthday, I want to go to that show, because if you show me a baby with a smash cake, there is no finer entertainment known to mankind. He gets this cupcake with pink icing on it. It was pink and blue and pastel colors, and he brings this over, and he doesn't know what's going on.
Did he start tentatively?
Absolutely, he started tentatively.
That's exactly what you want.
They put this cupcake down in front of him, and he's got his hands like Lewis Black. His hands are kind of sitting there. He's just saying, I don't understand what's wrong with people. And he's sitting there with his hands at his side, and he's looking at it. And it's it's the way. I'm not a big fan of cupcakes. I don't like cupcakes.
Right.
I don't like the way they're manufactured. You give me a nice piece of cake, I'll take that over a cupcake.
The ratios are off on a cupcake.
The ratios are totally off on a cupcake. They have this pile of buttercream frosting on top of this tiny little cake, and so there's this pyramid of us. And they put it down, and they have a candle that says the number 1, and they take that out of the way really quickly. Don't want any eye injuries.
Right.
And so he's sitting there with it in front of him, and then he waits. It's like 1,000, 2 1,000, and he goes like this. And he dumps his face right
into the cake.
No hands, no nothing. He does a face plant, open mouth into the icing, and comes out like, seriously, he looked like Antonio Montana in Scarface with a big pile of cocaine.
Most
he comes
of the
up with his
experts
eyes
say,
wide, just going, "Oh my God, what did I just eat?"
Most experts say that's learned behavior. So,
that's what Teddy said. That's really? Well, Teddy had the line of the night. Teddy's comment was, "Looks like Mike when he's first semester away from home." That was yeah. I said, "Thank you, Teddy. I appreciate it." And just hysterical. And really, so note to all families listening to me with small children: when you have that first birthday, I recommend highly the smash cake. Now, I'm not sure if you pull this off at 2. But certainly for a 1-year-old birthday, you can pull it off. It was absolutely fantastic.
I think it's traditional for a first birthday. I don't think you see a lot at the second, because I think they're not going to react that way.
Yeah.
And this is also probably his first major foray into processed sugar.
Oh God, it was so funny.
What a celebration!
Yeah,
though.
it's good stuff.
So
good stuff.
Funny.
And you got
I
video of it, the pictures.
Pictures were amazing.
Priceless.
Yeah, and then at the end of the night, we left, and I just said, "Oh well." I mean, we went. Talk about turning a smile upside down. It was cool. And as I said, I haven't spent a lot of time around my family, and I'm blessed to do this show and to do it up here, so I can actually have that in my life, which I haven't had for years. big the radio orphan that I've been. Rob, you know this. Oscar, you know the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, we miss weddings, we miss
Holidays.
funerals, we miss holidays,
Yep.
we miss birthdays. I remember, I think maybe back when I was a younger man, I would sit there and, people would be having some sort of family get-together. And, well, Rob, you haven't missed any because you're blessed to live in your family's backyard.
You know what? For a few years, I was still working Christmas and Thanksgiving, so I missed a couple.
Yeah, so it's the
I
whole
missed a
radio
couple
dance
things, and it sucks.
that we all do.
For example, my niece's birthday's coming up in August, right?
Right.
And I've always been there for it. If I was on regular radio, for example, and we were doing our terrestrial show, whether it was this show or another show, whatever, there's no way I could say, hey, guys, I'm going to miss a couple of days, but I'll do the show from Los Angeles.
Right.
I know that this might be an inconvenience, but I'll see you guys next week.
Here's the thing that I like about this.
That could never happen.
That's right.
I know,
That could
and
never happen.
And here's the cool thing, and this started pretty much with Oscar going to China with Todd Moore.
Hong Kong, man.
The idea of, because here's where, and this is not just us and our lives, because the shows, when you do this, when you travel from here to there with these wonderful pieces of technology we have, you never know what's going to happen, because changing the scenery, changing the setting makes for more material. And that was I don't know if we were people that thought that far ahead. We were just trying to simplify our lives a little bit, but it ended up working out that way, and it's a very, very cool thing. And really, if you were going to predict the future on the Mike O'Mara Show, look for more of that to have happen. Look for, Rob gets a bug up his butt and wants to hit the road.
Live from King's Dominion.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
think the Eiffel Tower has Wi-Fi. I think we'll be okay.
Rob has traveled.
Where? To Iowa.
Would you ever, Rob? Would you ever consider traveling out of country again when it wasn't on?
Absolutely.
Would you do that?
I would love. You know what?
Haven't you always wanted? I know. I happen to know Rob very well, and I will tell you, there's a country that Rob would like to visit.
You mentioned it, and actually, this is sort of a clue. This song. I have done the Munich thing, but I've never been to the other part of the country where Bremen is. I would love to go to the Beck's Brewery, and I'd like to see that side of Germany.
Is that Eastern Europe?
No, that is Germany. He's fine.
Yeah. And
I meant Eastern Germany. That's what I meant.
Well, now what you realize is Germany's gotten back together.
By the way,
so you wanted to see the former Soviet-controlled Germany?
No. This is still Western Germany.
Okay. Hey, Rob, you're gonna my clock. My clock. You're gonna have to. I wanted to say one thing about that. You're gonna have to cue me because my clock went on the fritz here.
Okay,
so
we got
I have no
about
idea
2 minutes
what's
before we need to break.
All right, then let me say this really quickly. I'm just tired of the death. Is anybody burned out on the? I mean, the death. It's nonstop.
The footage from the Ukraine this morning. It made me want to turn the television off.
Between the footage from Ukraine and then the the Gaza situation with the ground offensive from Israel into the Palestinian area, it's just nonstop, man. I don't know. I was watching some of the video out of Syria where these summary executions are occurring, and I just say to myself,
it's tragic.
How you look at a baby, you look at a tiny little baby,
right?
And has that much time passed where your life has been that horrible and you have lost your humanity, that you can't remember the sanctity of human life? That's the part that I don't understand. No, in all these parts of the world, and look, I know I am blessed to live in the United States of America. I know I am. And I know that I understand, as the son of a veteran, how horrible war can be. But at the same time, when you're dealing with innocents constantly, innocent people being killed, whether it's on a commercial airliner where 298 people got blown out of the sky, or children that happen to live in an apartment building that's next to a targeted leader, and they blow the whole apartment building apart.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know where it's going. It just, am I the only one that feels as though this is getting worse and worse? And when I look at the way that countrymen are handling countrymen, regardless of their religious beliefs, over in the Middle East, and they are lining people up and executing them, and then riddling them with bullets. I say to myself, how do we fix this? Is this a fixable situation?
It's scary
We're
because
getting worse.
Wouldn't you think that with the way everything is capturable on your phone and shared instantly, and the world has eyes in the sky, wouldn't you think we'd be better than this by now? And in fact, we are getting worse.
No.
Well, I think that we need a special ambassador to the world, and our UN ambassador is not cutting it, and I think that's why we need to make sure that it's Jimmy Cerrito. That's it.
The king of the wings.
We need to send Jimmy Cerrito over there, wherever it is, just to go over there and bring his brand of goofiness. Now, he'll go not because he knows the way of the world. He'll go because he's a fame whore. And he will. But he's also a wonderful human being, and he brings joy wherever he goes. So I think we need to send Jimmy Cerrito as our goodwill, the world's goodwill ambassador, just to show him how great life can be.
Can't you see some guy in a suit coming in and saying, "Mr. Putin, there's a man to see you. He is wearing chicken wing on head."
What is this? Is this falafel?
Oh, it's
Put
going to
some
be okay.
wing sauce on it.
It's going to be okay, Vladimir.
Yeah, anyway, we got to take a break. Rob, you'll have to cue me the rest of the way in.
You betcha.
I want to take a break. We will come back with more of the Mike O'Mara Show. News you may not need right after this.
Podcasts are great, but with all the podcasts out there, how do you choose? Let me recommend for your listening pleasure, Cake and Cookies. It's hosted by Katie Forbes von Herman and my dad, Rob Spiewak. I like it because it's family friendly, and they never use words like fuck, head, bullshit, son of a bitch, and they never say go fuck yourself, because kids don't need that kind of filth in their life. Cake and Cookies, every Wednesday at MikeO'MaraShow.com, a part of More Broadcasting.
Robert the Speedway III was never using bad language in the taping of that last one.
You never know.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
No, he's fine.
You can say it. It's a U-C-K.
Yeah. You want an Xbox game? Say it.
Yeah, say the word.
Say it.
Don't tell
This
Mom.
portion of the
Give me
Mike
Bex.
O'Mara Show is brought to you by LegalZoom. Most Americans don't have a will, but why? You don't want the court dictating what happens to your property and minor children, right? So why procrastinate? Most people say too expensive or too time-consuming. My answer, LegalZoom.com. Too expensive? LegalZoom's prices just make sense. Too time-consuming? It takes just 20 minutes, and LegalZoom guides you through from start to finish. The service was developed by some of the best legal minds in the country, and they make it painless for you to get the legal help you need. In fact, helping people get legally protected has been their mission and passion for over 13 years. Hard to believe LegalZoom has been around for that long.
Wow.
During National Make a Will Month, get special pricing on wills and living trusts by entering TMOS in the referral box at checkout. Again, that's discount code TMOS. It's National Make a Will Month, so don't wait. Protect your family, protect your future at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom was developed by top attorneys to provide self-help services at your specific direction, but they're not a law firm. Legal help is furnished through vetted independent attorneys. That's discount code TMOS for LegalZoom.com.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need. A comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, News You May Not Need.
James Garner passed away at his home in California on Saturday night at the age of 86. That's according to AP. James was best known for his starring roles as Jim Rockford on the 70s detective show, The Rockford Files, and Brett Maverick in the 50s Western Maverick. He was also in the 1994 movie version of Maverick alongside Mel Gibson. He won an Emmy for The Rockford Files in 1977, but your kids probably know him from his time on 8 Simple Rules. We talked about that before. Garner starred in more than 50 movies, including The Great Escape in 1963, Grand Prix, great movie, in 1966. One of my favorites, Murphy's Romance in 1985. That got him an Academy Award nomination. And Space Cowboys in the year 2000. He was also in The Notebook in 2004.
Yeah.
Now, he had several health issues over the years. His knees gave him a lot of problems. In his Rockford Files years, he had 6 or 7 knee operations during that time. And in 2000, he had both knees replaced. In 1988, he had quintuple bypass heart surgery, and his doctors insisted that he stop smoking. He complied 17 years later in 2005.
Oh, wow. He kind of his own guy, I think.
And he had surgery after suffering a minor stroke in 2008. He will be missed, a true American legend in cinema, Mr. James Garner.
I think tonight I'm going to show the boy The Great Escape. I haven't watched it in a long time,
good
and
movie.
it's more of an ensemble film.
You
but
probably watched it more recently than I did. You think it holds up?
Absolutely. Oh, God,
Cool.
the storytelling is so great. And Steve McQueen, excellent in it as well. But James Garner as the Scrounger, hard to beat.
The summer box office continued to lack mojo as the R-rated Sex Tape. Has anybody seen Sex Tape? Has anybody seen
that's
that?
the one about the...
It just came out this past week, and I saw The Rise of the Planet of the Apes this past week, and I had the choice of the two.
That's the big winner.
Yes.
20th Century
is
Fox
that a documentary?
is winning with that one.
No.
Just checking.
I liked it, Mike. If you liked the originals, and even if you liked the prequel to this, it was well worth it. It was shot beautifully.
I don't mind watching any of the Planet of the Apes movies on cable. I'm not sure whether I would go into the theater and watch them. And a lot of people, the movie season has been kind of meh this year.
Sure.
Let me see. 20th Century Fox science fiction sequel, Planet of the Apes, $36 million according to studio estimates. The sequel to 2011's reboot of the Chimp franchise has now made a total of $139 million domestically in 2 weeks.
Did you write that? Chimp franchise? I like that.
Chimp franchise,
It's a
baby.
chimp franchise. A C
It's a
up.
chimp.
Yeah.
Damned apes. Thank you. The body, this story continues,
I
and
know.
I'm almost bummed to read. The body of the late Casey Kasem is reportedly missing. Hallelujah. There it is.
Boy.
His daughter, Carrie Kasem, says that. The legendary radio host died at 82 last month. Carrie got on CNN. She says, "We are not surprised. We expected something like this to happen. Gene Kasem is the culprit. That's who they think took it. Carrie and Gene fought in court. Carrie eventually was given conservatorship over her father. The following month, Jean removed her husband from a healthcare facility in Santa Monica, traveled to a family friend's home in Washington. Carrie arrived at the restaurant in June with an ambulance. Jean responded by throwing a piece of raw meat at her stepdaughter, and now they say that Jean has taken the remains of Casey Kasem, and he's not buried yet. Jesus,
I
come
can
on.
almost understand them arguing about the estate and the will, but when you get down to stealing a body, that's the work of a lunatic right there.
You know,
And
I've had
it's
a
not
lot of
fair
conflict.
to anyone.
No, it's not. And I've had a lot
Right.
of conflict in my life. And I will tell you this. I tell friends of mine that are going through a divorce or going through like this, you really, really, really have to be aware of the fact that your life will probably be better if you take the high road
Always.
and you stop the fighting, because
Yep.
no one's going to win in this. Maroon 5 singer Adam Levine and Victoria's Secret model Bahati Prinsloo.
Bahati?
Did I pronounce her name?
Bahati.
Behati Prinsloo. They were married Saturday night in Cabo, and Jonah Hill married him.
Jonah Hill did?
Ah.
Is he fat or skinny right now? I can never keep track.
He's a medium. If you're playing ice hockey on Nintendo, you're a medium. He used to be a skinny. He was a large, but he's a medium guy.
I didn't see any pictures, so I don't know. Flyers advertising an event for Rob Spiewak called the Straight White Guy Festival have started to show up in Ohio.
Yeah, buy your tickets. You can come to my house and pick them up.
They're having the event in a park that normally hosts gay pride events. According to the Flyers, the festival will take place in Goodale Park in Clintonville. Oh, how are you?
Hi.
That's according to the Flyer. Beer will be available, but illegal drugs are unwelcome.
Unwelcome, Mike. They are
All right.
not welcome.
Let me see. It's unclear if the event is really taking place or not. Where's CAT 2014 taking place?
You know what?
this year?
Actually, we have moved CAT to a bi-yearly schedule.
Oh,
and
so
so
the
we're
2015?
in talks. Yeah, we'll be ready for 15, probably spring break.
Very exciting. Let me see.
gonna be the
It's
cat's
unclear
meow.
if this is really going to happen.
It's where it's CAT.
Let me see. Some people aren't finding the message behind the festival very funny. This kind of thing implies there's some kind of struggle going on for being a straight white person in Ohio. Straight white people are doing just fine. Same-sex marriage advocate Michael Primo told 10 TV. So there's that.
So it might not even be a real thing?
Who knows? A few decades ago, someone figured out how to put cheese in a spray can, and for some reason, people totally stopped innovating. The whole food in a can thing, they started it ever since. Maybe this is a sign that the horrible drought is over, because we haven't seen anything in a can, a spray can, really, food stuff in a long time.
A couple years ago, they had waffle batter. I think,
Yes.
because I brought that on your show. I think.
Big winner.
Yeah, it was a
That
big
was a
round
winner,
table.
and that actually, you saw that in stores. I've
Yeah.
seen that. Here's the latest. 2 students at Harvard, that's a real smarty place.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Named John McCallum and Brooke Nowakowski, have invented and patented cake batter in a spray can.
Perfect.
Is this the best invention to come out of Harvard since Facebook? Instead of having to make your own cake batter using a mix, eggs, and water like some caveman, now You just shake up the can and spray the batter right into a pan. Yay.
Yeah, you know why? Because, an instant
Yummy.
cake is so impossible to make. Who
Oh,
has the
absolutely.
time? Who has the time?
All you have to do is warm up your oven and spray it. John and Brooke made it for a class project. They say they were shocked that no one had come up with a cake batter and a spray. They got a patent, and now they're working on finding a manufacturer to get it in stores. Would you use, Rob Spiewak, you're the foodie, would you use cake batter in a can?
I would not, but I do know what their next project is, Mike. They're looking for a way to do insulin in a can for diabetes. So
Insulin. Oh, my God.
And now a little something. If you find yourself getting lazy in bed, always trying to be the one who lies on their back, you may get shot. Are you ready for this?
Oh, hold on. I'm listening.
Yes. Okay. 58-year-old Sadie Bell of Southfield, Michigan, has admitted she shot her boyfriend, Edward Lee. Eddie Lee
and Bell.
Said he was bad in bed. They've been together for 15 years, and she thought he was cheating on her. He survived, but was in the hospital for 6 weeks with internal injuries. Still recovering is Eddie Lee.
Oh, Sadie Bell.
Eddie Lee. Sadie just got a sentence of 10 years in prison for assault with intent to do great bodily harm.
Great.
Sometimes I love those legal charges.
Yeah.
But her attorneys were able to get her out on bond while they appeal. The prosecutors say that she shouldn't be out on bond since this may not be her first time.
Oh, no.
She also allegedly shot her husband back in 1991, but he refused to cooperate with the investigation.
I'm not cooperating.
Yay.
I'm not
So
cooperating.
she wasn't prosecuted. Well, I don't know about the hubby, but Sadie sure wasn't shooting blanks, was she?
I get it.
Whatever. We'll take a break. Come back with the audio about Rob Spiewak right after this.
Communication, it's the hardest thing for me to do, and it's said it's the most important part that relationships will go through.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Without further ado, let's get right to it. It's time for Rob and the Audio Ball, brought to you by Open Mic. Hello, folks. Just a kindly reminder that our book Open Mic is still available, and it's still great.
Yeah.
The true story of the Mike O'Mara Show, and how it evolved from terrestrial radio to the popular podcast you're listening to right now. The story is told by the people who lived it. Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, Rob Spiewak, as well as interviews with dozens of other members of the Cognoscenti. It's just wonderful. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll get angry. It's
Yes.
amazing. The book is a tale of reinvention, recalculation, and rebirth. If life has ever had you up against the wall, well, for God's sakes, get off of it and read this book. The perfect book if you love TMOS, and since it's birthday season, it also makes a wonderful gift for the TMOS fan in your life. Open Mic available at Amazon and paperback, and for your Kindle, please buy one of each. Let's get to the audio vault. Rob is just chomping today to get to the audio vault because I'm sure he's got Garner.
Garner, as Mike, he's one of my favorites. And we talked a little bit about Rockford, so let's go. I got some of your favorite quotes, I think, that James Garner has given us through the years. Let us start with your favorite film, Murphy's Romance.
You are a miserable little son of a bitch. You know that? I don't know why she took you in the house. I'd bed you down with the dogs. And I'll tell you something else, mister. You may be a lot younger and stronger, but you're about to get your ass kicked from here to the state line. And I'm wearing the boots that can do it.
I love the fact that that role came to him at that point in his life, because he was older, but he could still pull it off. I thought it was a great film.
And I'm in love. For the last time in my life.
Truly beloved.
Yeah.
That man. So much on Facebook, so much on Twitter. The tributes on just the nightly shows, just great.
You know what the reaction is when you see a guy like James Garner?
What's that?
I reacted the same way probably a lot of it. You're like, oh, man.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, bummer.
It is
you know
a bummer.
What I mean? Yeah, it's just a drag.
Here's
It
a
really
treat.
is.
I don't know that this is out on DVD, but you can find it on YouTube. One of Mike, I know one of your favorites, one of mine. He played F. Ross Johnson in Barbarians at the Gate.
If
which
you've
is
not seen this,
Have you ever seen it?
fantastic.
No, I have not.
Fantastic movie.
Made-for-TV movie. I think it was an HBO project about a hostile takeover of RJR Nabisco.
Yes.
And it was based on the fact that they tried to invent a smokeless cigarette back in the day. And here he is getting the results, Mike, of the smokeless cigarette.
They all said they tasted like sh**.
They all said that? Nobody liked them?
Fewer than 5%.
How much are we in for up to now? Today? Today, to here, to now.
Upwards of $350.
We've spent $350 million and we've come up with a turd with a tip? God almighty, Ed.
We haven't even talked about the smell.
Well, what'd they say that was like? A fart?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not serious. They really said that?
We've got an awful lot of fart figures, sir, yes.
Tastes like and smells like a fart. Got ourselves a real winner here. It's one goddamn unique advertising slogan, I'll give you that.
It was really great.
That is such a great movie. God, I want to look at that again. That's one of my all-time favorites.
And the last thing, and I had forgotten about this until some of the tributes were rolling in. Do you remember the commercials he did for Polaroid with Mariette Hartley?
Long time ago.
He did over 300 of them with her.
Really?
300?
300?
I only saw 2 on one of the tributes. 300?
He did 300 spots, and many people assumed they were married because their chemistry was so good.
This is Polaroid's new Time 01 step.
Pretty. Why is it black?
So you'll know it's the Time 01 step. And here's the world's fastest developing color. You see it in seconds now, not minutes.
You know, what a big deal that you could see a picture in seconds, not minutes. Too bad
But-
for Polaroid about digital cameras. That kind of sucks
Yeah, well,
for
that
them.
put them out of business. But the fact is, back in the day, that chemistry, you can get chemistry in a movie, a TV show, but you can also get it in a commercial. And that was an amazing ad campaign.
Great campaign.
Amazingly successful.
And that's what Santa gets when he sits on the toilet too long, Mike.
What's that?
Polaroids. Nothing? Wow. Safe home, James Garner.
There you go. So he gets all wrapped up in celebrity death, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
Loses his focus is what he does.
No, Mike, my focus is keener than ever before.
He's like, I've been waiting for that Polaroid joke for years.
Well, you know what?
Now I can use it.
He planned
Instamatic
that.
cameras.
That was hatched sometime Saturday afternoon, I figured. That's when that came out.
1997, Mike. I've just been waiting.
Very
waiting.
good.
One of my favorite voice guys. I don't know. How did you ever feel about Mel Blanc as the voice of all the Looney Tunes and the cartoons?
Genius.
Now, did you know that there was actually a formula for the way he made Porky Pig do his Porky Pig voice? Now, the
Okay.
guy that does Porky now is named Bob Berger, and he actually breaks it down, the method of how to do Porky Pig. It's so complicated that he claims he has job security, but there is a method to his madness. Here's
Okay,
voice
can I
guy.
now before you play this, you
Okay.
know I don't like this.
I know you
This
don't.
is inside the comedy mind. This is just let the art happen. I hate it when, Mel Blanc I don't think would have gone into his scary, complicated process.
but I
because
think-
it's natural talent, and that's what it is primarily. You just
I
hone it
think
and
I
refine
think
it a
Mel
little
Blanc did have the natural talent, but this guy has like a mathematical formula for doing Porky. Listen, I think it's pretty cool though. It's fascinating if nothing else.
Count out the sounds. Eba, be, boy. Okay? So it's 4 sounds in the word. It's a G.
F you, lick my bag. There we go. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm
I thought
sorry.
that would go
know.
better than that.
No, I don't like that. I don't, it's just that you're making something more than it really is. And you know what? The Porky Pig, when Mel Blanc did that, he riffed and he came up with a voice and he went into a room with an executive and said, "What do you think of this?" And the guy said, "Yeah, go ahead, do it." He didn't say, "You take the Eba, you take the Iba," like that, like you're something, like you're some sort of rocket science,
Well,
you
what he did,
douchebag.
he wrote it out on his dorm window with
And
a
he's
wax
not. I've
pencil.
heard. By the way, does it finish with him doing Porky Pig?
It does. It does.
Yeah, and it's not even
Well,
remotely close
no one
to
can
what
touch,
Mel Blanc used
No
to
one
do.
can touch what he does. That's why.
Sorry, I had to draw the line, Rob.
It's
I'm
fine.
terribly sorry.
I think I'll close with this. A nightmare of mine came true with an Oriole by the name of Adam Jones. And I've often thought that if some weird thing had me in a sports setting, this would be something I would do. He is an outfielder for the Orioles. The Orioles were ready to lose anyway. He lost track of the outs in the game.
Yes.
And there was a guy on third, and he caught the ball for the second out and just began jogging in to allow the guy to steal home.
No. Oh, hold it. Stop.
Forgive me.
Sorry. If he caught the ball, then the guy is tagging up and he is running to home. So he's not stealing home. He's tagging up. So if you got one out and you're catching the ball and there are 2 outs and there's a guy on third, he's going to tag and he's going to run home. So if he casually was jogging in,
Like the game was over, like the inning was over.
He thought the inning was over.
Oh,
like the inning was
no.
over. This guy's tagging up and he's going to score. So that's.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear
Okay.
that up.
You clarify that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Drive to center. Jones coming in. Jones has it. Cespedes tagging, and
That's the second out.
second out.
Yes, it is.
Cespedes has to get in and score.
Yeah.
So Jones just trotted in. Cespedes ran hard, and about halfway, he kind of looked up like, what the heck is going on? And then he finished, kind of jogged home.
You know, I've been to the Oriole ballpark. There's a big scoreboard. He should look at
Yeah.
it. That's
It
got all the
happens.
stats on it.
You know, you learn it in Little League,
Oh
and it
my
happens
God.
even to the big guys. That's what. It's very, very strange. It's very strange. I like Adam Jones.
Well, yeah, you know what? Just not a great counter. That is your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Monday, everybody.
Thanks, guys. We got to get out of here. And I got to read Rob's closing. I
Yes.
love this. This concludes our broadcast day. Dry your eyes. It's not goodbye, it's just so long. You can always write us a letter, send it to TMOS, P.O. Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. Email all technical queries to that nerd boy, Ponyboy. It's ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you'd like to be a part of the legendarily popular Thursday mailbag segment, well, for God's sakes, get off your ass and mail us a letter. Drop a line to the jolly one, Rob, at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Remember the official e-voice hotline, 800-440-8167. Open all the time, no waiting. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying, I'm about to get your ass kicked across the state line, and I'm wearing the boots that can do it. So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Hi, this is Mike O'Mara, here to remind you that if you're starting a business, forming an LLC, or getting a will, LegalZoom will provide the personal attention you need to help take care of the details. LegalZoom is not a law firm, but provides self-help services at your specific direction. Enter discount code TMOS for more savings at LegalZoom.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.